Hey guys, welcome back to Cruiseman's Garage. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about this service recall, this fuel pump recall and service bulletin from Honda.
This video is sponsored by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Video Series.
When I put the video out a couple days ago, I thought it was just for the 2018 to 2019 Goldwing. Turns out that's not true. If you have a 2020 or 2024, you could also be part of this range. I want to thank, by the way, I want to thank Dale Van Dellen for sending over these other service bulletins. For some reason, Honda put it into two different service bulletins, one for the 2018-2019 and one for the 2020-2024. They look like they read the exact same to me. But he also sent over some other information. There's additional information in this bulletin. And it's basically, this is obviously for a dealer to do. It's not something they intended for customers to see. But they tell you how to have the fuel pump how do you inspect the fuel pump. When they talk about fuel pump inspection, I think they're basically just saying they want a tech to look at the manufacture date of the fuel pump. So they're not taking the fuel pump out and inspecting anything mechanically. They're just going to pull your seat off and they're going to look and see what the date of manufacture is. Now, I removed my seat today. I wanted to look at the top of the fuel pump and I took a picture of the label. I'll show it to you on the screen. And what you're looking for primarily is the lot number. There is a part number on top, but apparently that's really kind of irrelevant. It's the lot number that matters. And that indicates when the pump itself was manufactured. This lot number is kind of stamped into this label. It's a little bit hard to read. You have to get up kind of close to see it. It's not printed on there, and they probably do that because they don't want it to get scratched off or anything. So it's kind of maybe a little bit of a metallic label, and this is kind of embossed, you might say, into the label. There are two numbers at the front of the lot number. There's a letter, and there are two numbers at the back of the lot number. The first two numbers will indicate what month it was manufactured. The letter in the center identifies the year of manufacture, and the last two numbers indicate the date of the day of the month that the pump was manufactured. Okay, so the first thing you wanted to do is determine what year was your pump manufactured. Now, if you have a U or a B as that center character, two numbers, letter, which is the year, a U or a B, you have to have your pump replaced because those were manufactured in 2017 or 2018. Mine is a U, so I do have to get my fuel pump replaced, so I know that. But if you have a C, you've got to look at the month and the day. And if it was manufactured basically between January 1st and September 23rd, you're going to have your pump replaced. So if it's 01C01, if it's between that and 09C23, then you're going to have your pump replaced. Now, I've had some people suggest if you're D, E, F, or G, you're fine because it was manufactured after 2019 or later in the year of 2019, and those apparently are okay. Some people have said, is this something I could do myself? I could talk my Honda dealer into giving me the replacement part, do it myself. I doubt it. Honda compensates the dealers for doing this inspection and or replacement. For the dealer to get paid for doing this, I think they have to do the work. I don't think they'd want the liability of you doing it. They certainly wouldn't want the liability of you replacing the fuel pump yourself, because they could give you the fuel pump and you could go home and sit it on a shelf or sell it and never do the replacement, and they can't put that paperwork in with Honda to show that it's been done. It would cause all kinds of legal issues and ramifications. So if your fuel pump has to be replaced, you're going to have to take it to a Honda dealer. Now the good news is If it does need replacement, this should be a fairly simple job. It's not like you would have to have a master Goldwing technician do this. I think this is a procedure that just about any Honda service tech could probably do, because all your fuel injected motorcycles out there are going to have fuel pumps. So they're probably used to working on fuel pumps. It's easily accessible. It's not like they have to tear your whole bike apart. They basically just remove the seat. Now, what you might be able to do is, it's very easy for you to take off the seat. Most of you have probably already done this to add accessories or do something else. You could maybe, I don't know this, I can't confirm this, but it depends on your dealership. You might be able to pull off your seat, check this lot number, take a photograph, a good clean photograph of that label, check the lot number, and if you're in the range where you know your fuel pump does not need to be replaced, you might be able to go to your Honda dealer and show them that photograph and say, I pulled it, I looked at it, this is my number, and they might be able to type that into the computer to Honda. They would go ahead and get compensated for doing the inspection even though they didn't actually pull the seat. I don't know. It depends on the relationship you've got with your Honda dealer. They might be able to get away with that. You might be able to get away with that. That way you don't even have to take the bike in. You would just go to your Honda dealer in your car, show them this photograph, explain you're familiar with the bulletin, and if you have a good relationship with your service manager, they might let it slide. I don't know. Otherwise, you're going to have to take your bike in. The hassle there is they may have to keep it half a day because they may be backed up, and then they got to pull the seat and do the inspection. If you got to have the fuel pump replaced, that's a whole different story. You are going to have to take the bike in, leave it with them, and have them replace the fuel pump. But you'll get a new fuel pump. That's the good news. So anyway, that is the information I have for you today based on what I got from Dale. I'm hoping it's all accurate. If anything else becomes available to me, I will let you know. I will put all this information on the screen so you have a reference of all these lot numbers and part numbers and all this stuff on this label. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, give it another thumbs up. I know it's a hassle, you gotta click that little thumb, but that is super important. It really does help the video. I'll see you on the next Cruiseman's Garage. Until then, you know the drill. Ride often, but ride safe.